has arrived in Detroit this year, and he's not bringing back the Who hash. It's almost over for the Lions. It is stunning. If you'd have told me last year, as the Vikings and the Lions were preparing for a Week 18 showdown in Detroit for the number 1 seed, if you'd have told me one of the teams won't be in the playoffs next year, I'd say, well, it's obviously going to be the Vikings because they're every other year. Analytics, every other year.
Right.
There's no way they're both not going to be back next year.
Right.
The Lions right now, after yesterday's loss to the Steelers, 29-24, and we're going to talk about the ending, and we're going to talk about things that happened in between. I keep thinking about, and we've mentioned this a few times, what did Dan Campbell say after they blew the 17-point lead to the 49ers? He told the players, and then he told the media, this may have been our only shot. And you know what? He may be right.
Yeah. Well,
because whatever happens after this year is going to be kind of a reset.
Right.
And you got to wonder, what are they going to change? How are they going to address this? What adjustments need to be made, and how different are they going to look than that team that blew that 17-point lead?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. You're right. That was their moment. That was their moment. And then again, they could have taken another 17-point lead late in the third quarter and really put the 49ers in a problem there, and they went for it and didn't get it.
Got to be aggressive.
And that cost them the game, in my opinion. And I think the 49ers think that as well. So, yeah, it's not easy. And that's what's been amazing about what we've seen the Patriots do and the Chiefs do. To climb the mountain year after year after year, as you could see, Detroit's finding out it's not easy in the NFL. And, yeah, they've had some changeover. They've lost some coaches. That's what happens when you're really good, too. You lose key pieces of your team that made you special and good. So that's been a balancing act the whole football year as well. Injuries have struck Detroit again, right? I'm not shocked they're not as good as last year, but if you sat here and told me they were going to be 8-7 and maybe not go to the playoffs, I would have been like, no, not Detroit. How could that be? If you told me, wait, this game was one team had 481 yards of total offense and made all these big run plays and explosive plays, and you told me it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'd be like, no, are you kidding me? I mean, incredible yesterday. A game that makes you think a little bit differently about the Steelers for a certain number of reasons. One, early on in the football game, getting the game played on their terms, where it was kind of slow and defense and low scoring, and you went, all right, this is good for the Steelers. This is what they're going to want. They don't want to be in a shootout against the Detroit Lions. And then all of a sudden, the third quarter becomes a shootout, and it's the Steelers just going up and down the field on the Detroit Lions, where they can't do anything on the offensive side of the ball. And the Steelers are just having their way. It was one of the most impressive performances of the year by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodgers was really good. The run game was incredible. They whooped the crap out of the Detroit Lions up front on both sides of the ball, on both. And let's not forget, this was a T.J. Watt game. T.J. Watt should have been there to close this game out, and they wouldn't have been that close down the stretch. But Rodgers making some big throws and some big moments, and then these two damn running backs, Jaylen Warren in the run game, and look at some of these plays. I mean, this is what Detroit's got to go back to the drawing board. I mean, getting gashed on this side of the ball. Their defensive tackles 4 yards down the field, and Jaylen Warren on 2 big touchdown runs, nobody even touches him. I mean, not even close to touching him. So that's just all not Detroit Lions football. And the Steelers, maybe they're rounded into something here just at the right time to become a real pain in the butt in the AFC. I never thought I'd be saying that, but I'm a little bit right now going, I don't know. There's some things I'm starting to like when I see the Steelers play football here.
Jaylen Warren was looking like Fast Willie Parker from Super Bowl 40 yesterday. And he had 2. Willie had 1. Warren had 2.
Right. And then they used Kenneth Gainwell in the passing game.
Oh, the catch he made on the ground. On the ground, made the catch, got up,
but look
scored
at Gainwell.
the touchdown.
I mean, what a weapon he has become for their football team.
Week 4 in Ireland against the Vikings.
This
I'm
is
like,
incredible.
Is that Franco Harris running that ball? Yeah, he's on the ground. He makes the catch. He gets up, and he scores the touchdown. This is a team, and I'm starting to detect. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm starting to detect a sense that Christopher has abandoned his strenuous objection to the Steelers being in the playoffs.
You're right.
Because he believes the Steelers can't win in the playoffs. I think he's starting to say
I'm getting a little wobbly.
He believes the Steelers can win in the playoffs.
I am a little bit getting to that point here, where at least I look at it, and we know that the AFC's not perfect, but Do I sit here and think that, the Pittsburgh can beat the Chargers in Pittsburgh? I know they lost to them earlier this year. They'd have to readjust how they played, right? But do I think, yeah, certainly, right?
Oh, you get the Chargers on a cold day in Pittsburgh in January?
I mean, again, nothing. I don't put anything by it right now with the way they're playing. They found a good little formula on offense right now. The biggest thing to me here through the 3-game win streak.
Oh, you know what it could be, though? It could be the Bills coming back to Pittsburgh. It could be the Bills, too,
right. It could be, which would be incredible to see as well. But regardless, their O-line has started to move people in the run game consistently. I think that's exciting to see. We're seeing Rodgers not under pressure quite as much, right? But last week we saw them run the ball pretty damn good against the Miami Dolphins. And again, it carries over to yesterday and the performance there. Rodgers is throwing the ball well. And I thought that was the first game really in a while where I thought, ooh, that's the Pittsburgh front that I'm used to seeing. It felt like they pushed the Lions around, pass game and run game. And the Lions weren't unable to even run the ball. The Pittsburgh Steelers made them one-dimensional to where it just became, all right, Jared Goff and company got to pass the ball. And those stats are a little misleading because it's end of the game, we were down, the Steelers trying to bleed the clock a little bit, not let up the big play. And he chalked up a lot of big stats the last 2 or 3 drives of the football game.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.